Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Casterton Vintage. Today we've been invited to an open day at a private tractor collection near Spalding in Lincolnshire. I'd never been to this collection before and I wasn't sure what I was going to see, but I certainly wasn't disappointed. There was a wide range of tractors, probably over 50 on site. Like this early Dagenham production of the Fordson Model N, or this later Dagenham production of the Fordson Model N in wartime green and with the short wings. And a three-wheel row crop Model N. This tractor has independent wheel brakes and a mechanism to apply them when you turn the front steering in full lock, similar to the farmhauls of the time. This E27N is also a three-wheeler, but I think that's a conversion, probably a Bettinson. This tractor also has 3-point linkage, but it's got the strange addition of some extra lift arms. I can only assume that's something to do with an implement that would have been used in a row crop application. It's using the Varley 2-lever hydraulics, one for the linkage and one for externals. And the next E27N in the row has a hydraulic linkage system by Smith with a single lever. It appears this tractor was supplied new by Johnson Brothers of Spalding. I wasn't aware Johnson's ever sold Fordson tractors. To me, they've always been an international dealer. They had depots in Spalding, Bourne and Fakenham, and the last surviving one at Fakenham has sadly just closed down. The tractor has a Perkins L4 engine conversion that Ford made available back in 1953. And then we've got a P6 Major with a big 6-cylinder Perkins P6 engine fitted. These were available as an option from new, but many Majors had a P6 upgrade in later life. They were collecting money for local charities at the event, and this particular tractor was painted to raise awareness of the Sue Ryder Hospice at Thorpe Hall. The Oliver 80 row crop, built between 1937 and 1948, imported to the UK from the USA. And next a pair of French-built Renaults. Quite an unusual sight here in the UK. And this one has a German-built MWM air-cooled engine. If you believe what the internet tells you, MWM are now owned by Caterpillar. Moving along now, we arrive at the Fergusons. and this one I think is a petrol paraffin grey Fergie, and it's on row crop wheels. And a second petrol paraffin Fergie with an Albion steel seat, and also a Fergie belt pulley. And then a nice looking diesel Ferguson. This one must have worked for its living quite late in life because it's fitted with rollover protection. And next the grey gold Ferguson, built during the Massey Ferguson days. They were only produced between October 56 and late 57. And now we jump in years to 1962, where the Harris name has gone. We're now into Massey Ferguson, and this is a 35X. And it's complete with multi-power, 2-speed hydraulic gear shift. And a larger MF65. This delivered about 55 horsepower. Built between 1957 and 1964. And in 1964, Massey upgraded the entire range to the 100 series. This is a 135, the successor to the 35. And next we're into the Allis-Chalmers section. This is an ED40 built at Essendine in Rutland. And this lever allows you to stop while the PTO shaft's still going without disengaging the main clutch. Despite being made in 1960, Allis-Chalmers still didn't offer a dual clutch. This D270 was introduced in 1954. It was replaced in 1957 with the D272, which was available in diesel and TVO, both of which are represented here. And this is an Alice B, manufactured in the UK from 1947, and I've never seen one with 3-point linkage before. And now we're moving into the international section. This is a 434 manufactured at International's Bradford plant from 1966. And it's carrying a dealer sticker from Ruston's of St Ives. And another 434. This one's fitted with power steering. And it was supplied by Johnson Brothers Spalding Depot. If you know what this bracket on the front is for, please leave a comment below. The 414 International, the forerunner to the 434 and made from 1961. Next, the smaller International B275. It was manufactured at the Bradford plant from 1958 until 1968. And here's the tractor that International first produced in Bradford, the B250. It was the first of an extremely successful range, with over 100,000 model variants sold in the first 10 years. And if you know all about International Harvester serial numbers, why not drop us a comment and tell us more about this tractor. And this B250 is fitted with a winsome cab. Quite a useful addition when the wind's cutting across the fens. And our last international is this Farmall H, manufactured in Rock Island, USA between 1939 and 1953. And a John Deere Model B, this would have been a direct competitor to the Farmall H. Manufactured in Waterloo, USA between 1935 and 1952. And these things must be pretty rare. You do see them about, but not that often. This is a bean hoe, designed for root crop cultivation. The David Brown 2D, another tractor mainly used in root crops. The 2D used an unusual compressed air system to balance out the weight of the implement and allow the operator to lift and lower it. The David Brown 25D was produced between 1953 and 1958 and followed on from the successful Cropmaster range. And our last David Brown is a 990 Implomatic, manufactured between 1961 and 1980. The Morris Motor Group produced the Nuffield Universal 3 between 1957 and 1961. With just over 29 horsepower, it was the smaller sister to the larger 4-cylinder Nuffield Universal, introduced in 1948. In 1961, the Universal was upgraded to the 460, with an increase from 45 to 60 horsepower. In 1968, the British Motor Corporation was merged with Leyland to form British Leyland. At the 1969 Smithfield show, the Nuffield tractor was rebranded as the Leyland and came in two-tone blue. Yes, I know this one's yellow. Now we move on to another lineup of Fordson tractors. This is an early Fordson Dexta, introduced in 1957. And another Dexta, this time supplied by Motors and Tractors, though another company that have long gone. By 1962, the Dexta was upgraded to the Super Dexta. This brought with it an increase in power from 39 horsepower on the Dexta to 44.5 on the Super Dexta. And here's a tractor that I would think is very rare. It's a petrol-powered Dexta. And while we're on the subject of very rare tractors, how about this TVO-powered E1A Major? This engine was an option when the Major was first introduced, but they were very thirsty and a lot of them were upgraded to diesels, so it's quite unusual to see one that survived. 2 fuel caps, one for the TVO and one for the petrol, and there's the vaporizer. And here's the more typical E1A Major with diesel power. They were introduced at the 1951 Smithfield show. By 1953 the diesel option had become dominant, so they changed the name to the Diesel Major. By 1958 the tractor was given another facelift. This time a power increase from 45 to 52 horsepower and rebranded as the Power Major. Ford obviously felt their tractor was starting to slip behind the competition, so yet again in 1960 to 61 they introduced the Super Major. There were some very significant improvements like diff lock, Qualitrol hydraulics with draft control, disc brakes mounted inboard and protected from the weather unlike the previous drum brakes, and they squeezed a little bit more power out of the engine. And if you needed a three-wheel Super Major, you've got the Bettinson conversion. And on the end of the line of Fordsons we come to another Super Major. This one's fitted with a hydraulic 4-end loader. Along with all the tractors, there were one or two other vehicles on site, and we'll take a quick look at them as our video draws to a close. If you've got this far into the video, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you'll agree with me that this is a fantastic tractor collection. A big well done to the owners, and thanks for letting us film them. That's all from Casterton Vintage Videos this week. We'll see you again next week with something completely different. Thanks again for watching.